Hey all my adventurers, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please hit that subscription button. If you've been with me from the beginning, I thank you so very much. Well, your girl went to the Dominican Republic for a little vacation, and guys, let's get pen and paper. If you're planning your trip there, please stay tuned so you don't make the mistakes that I made. I'm giving it to you straight. All right, guys. So be sure to stay tuned, grab something, some drinks or so, and get comfortable as I get straight into this vlog. Alright, so for those who don't know, I'm from Jamaica, so that is where we're leaving from, Montego Bay to be exact. This is our airport lounge, Club Mobe. As always, I always book Club Mobe whenever I am leaving. You know, you can come, you sit, you get your food, you get your drinks and all of that, and just relax until it's time for your flight. So I flew from Jamaica to Miami, right, and then from Miami to DR. Recently, Jamaica started doing straight flights to Dominican Republic. However, those straight flights are from Kingston, Jamaica to Santo Domingo, and I was going to Punta Cana, and I also live in Montego Bay, so it would have meant that I would have to drive 3 hours from Montego Bay to Kingston, and then when I arrived in Punta Cana in Dominican Republic, another drive from Santo Domingo to Punta Cana. So you know, it was more affordable for me to fly from Montego Bay to Miami, and then this leg is from Miami to DR. I won't lie to you, that's one of the main reasons why I use my visa, so I can travel easily. I barely actually take any vacations in the States, if I'm being very honest. And the cost for the round trip ticket, doing it like that, was like $500 and something. So this is obviously for my locals, because as always, I love to encourage people to travel, you know, see other people culture and so on and so forth. And I mean, Dominican Republic is right below Jamaica, so what's, you know, just take a quick trip. This is actually the airport in Dominican Republic in Punta Cana, right? So we've made it. And you know, again, as I mentioned before, even if you don't have a US visa, then, and you just have a Jamaican passport, as I mentioned, they start doing straight flights. However, it's just a bit longer, where you guys arrive in Santo Domingo and you have to leave from Kingston. Again, if you live in Kingston, this is obviously more convenient to you, but seeing that I am from Montego Bay, it wasn't for me, right? Now we've made it to the airport, and this is us on our way to the hotel. I already did a vlog on the hotel that I'm staying at. I stayed at the Bahia Principe luxury amber hotel, all adults only hotel. I did a full-fledged review. Again, I'll leave that link in the description below, but this is the hotel right here. But I won't waste any time, because this vlog is all about the excursions as much as I can remember, and I'm going to give it to you straight up so you guys know what is what, right? As always, remember, again, like, share, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, follow me over on TikTok. And you know, if you're coming to Jamaica, then definitely hit me up. I can be a tour guide and provide transportation for you. Yeah, but anyways, let's get into these excursions that I did while I was in there. Hi guys, so today I'm going on an excursion. I'm gonna do the dune buggies. Yeah, my sister and our friend, they ain't want to do it, so I'm here at AM. Got a full day, and we're gonna do the dune buggies. See how they do, make cigars and chocolate. We're also gonna go on a catamaran, and then in the night I think we'll have coco bingo, I think. So it's a full day, a full night. Hopefully I can be able to show you guys. My battery is actually low, and the power bank, about our power bank, I don't understand it. And the power bank is not power banking, right? It's not power banking. So if you don't see all of it, I'll be sure to tell you how it goes. Yeah, so toodaloo, I'm gonna try and conserve on the battery. Alright, so the first excursion while I was in DR, as I mentioned before, was the dune buggies, right? My sister and my friend Janelle, they're not on this, right? So this is the dune buggies. This was family buggies, I think that's the name. Again, so I went at the end of August, and as I mentioned before, I do tours and excursions in Jamaica, provide transportation. So August, July, June, very busy time for me, so I never had the opportunity to properly sit and plan this vacation for myself, if I'm being very honest. So I never booked my excursions until I was in the airport, and that's not something that I normally do, right? So these dune buggies right here were for 50 USD, right? So it's 50 USD per person, and that included the shuttle that brought us to the location, right? Now, while we're here, there were also some regular ATVs that were present. However, I always do ATV and I've never done the buggy before, so I really wanted to experience it. As you can see, it's the beginning part of this excursion is off the beaten path. It's a dirt track. While we were in Dominican Republic, like the week before, there was a storm that was there, so the track was very, very muddy. And as I mentioned before, I'm somebody that I normally do ATV. I love this stuff anywhere there, where I can let loose and go wild, then I'm gonna do it. So I figured more or less that there's a possibility of getting dirty. As you can see right here, the water was splashing everywhere. So I came prepared, and I was in a one piece that was dark brown, basically blended in with my skin color. As you can see, we're on the right side of the road. So we go off the beaten path. We also drive along the road. We drive through the community as well. You see that little kid right there. So I really like the fact that we kind of went out and about and we were out in the community. These kids were there. They were doing stunts on their bike. There were also, because we were outside, there were also some little kids along the side of the road that they just come up to you, and they had some of them had hibiscus flowers, and they would give it to you. But after they give it to you, they were asking for $1, or they would have a small picture that they drew. They literally just pointing on your bag. I mean, I don't speak Spanish, but I knew that they wanted some form of money. So it was very local, so to speak. And this company wasn't the only company that utilized this particular route, because while we were out there on the track, there were other buggies as well, other ATVs along the track. And that track, yeah, something get narrow. Some people got stuck. It was a bit challenging. But this is me. This is me after the ride. There was intermediate break. No, that's not the word. What is the word? Intermission. There was an intermission. There was an intermission, so to speak, right? So that's me right there, muddy, dirty, as I expected. They brought us somewhere where they had some empanadas. I really wanted to try the empanada. As I mentioned, I'm from Jamaica, so I wanted to see if it was similar to
Alright guys, I got 1 chicken, 1 cheese. As you can see, I already started eating the chicken. It's pretty good. It doesn't really taste like patty. It tastes like it's good, but it's different from patties. It almost tastes like a chicken wrap.
Empanadas weren't bad. They really weren't bad. Afterwards, I kept walking and I realized that this place had this dope, unique car, which to me kind of reminded me of something that you'd probably see in Cuba, because, in Cuba they have all of those vintage cars. So this was pretty cool to see. Also, guys, the empanadas, it's good. Is it like patties? Not necessarily. Let me tell you, see, if I was eating a patty, especially a juicy beef patty, then the flakes would have been all over me. It would have just been that one small crumb on the side of my mouth. No, it would have everywhere. But anywho, a part of the tour includes going down into this cave where there's a little water source. I guess some people might say it's like a cenote. I wouldn't necessarily describe it as a cenote. It kind of reminded me of somewhere in Jamaica that we have what you call Roaring River, except that the Roaring River in Jamaica is way bigger. So it was a small cave. Even the area to swim, it was just kind of too small. A lot of people were there. It's difficult to go down the stairs to eventually jump in. I did, of course, go into the water. However, I never spent long into the water. I don't even want to tell you. So while I was to one side, I look over the other side. I saw some some garbage in the water, and like the shellings of a tampon, and I was just like, I can't. So I just got out of the water immediately. But the cave in and of itself was very beautiful. What? Okay, like I said, I bought this in the airport, and it was 50 USD, which is relatively cheap. There's certain, like, I wouldn't necessarily choose this one. I met someone at the hotel that I was staying at. Again, guys, be sure to check out my hotel review on that I did already. And they did a dune buggy tour as well, but they did theirs at night. And when they did theirs at night, it brought them into a cave. Obviously, it was a different one from this. And the cave, they had a party there in the night in the water with a DJ and everything. I'm not even sure. I can't remember the name of it. She doesn't know the name of it either because she had booked it in the hotel. So I would recommend that one instead, right? A part of this tour also include, this guy was just talking about chocolate and coffee. I personally thought they were gonna, just show us the process of making it, so to speak. But they only did a brief talking about it, and then they allowed us to smell it, the ones that they already had. They also allowed us to taste the different samples. It was ginger, something with ginger. It was coffee, and it was cocoa or chocolate. I'm not a coffee drinker. I do not drink coffee. I do not like coffee. But like I said, it really smelled nice. I know I think they had cocoa butter, which was really nice as well. And of course, you can support them. They had a lot of different stuff. But like, I never really saw them prepare it, which is what I thought was going to take place. But for me, the language barrier, again, that was a challenge. Towards the end of my trip, I met a guy named Kevin. I'm actually going to leave his number in the description below. I wish I met him at the beginning of the trip. That way I could have organized, do the excursion, ask all the necessary questions, because I know how I am. I know I'm very specific. I'm a very adventurous person. I do a lot of tours all the time. I go a lot of different places, especially here in Jamaica as well. So I already know what it is that I want and what I don't want. So if there wasn't that language barrier, maybe I could have properly asked all of the necessary questions. But all in all, I would give it like a 6.5 out of 10. One of the difficulties with me driving as well was that I'm not used to driving on the right side, and the steering wheel was very stiff. Oh my god, it was very, very, very stiff, but it was still a good experience, and actually a bit too muddy for me, and that's wild that I'm even saying that, but yeah. But the dune buggies definitely can do it. My advice would be, probably ask proper questions in terms of what it is you really want to experience from the dune buggies overall. I think that night one, if I was supposed to ever go back to DR and stay in Punta Cana, then I would want to do the night tour instead. And we made it back to the entrance. As I mentioned before, it's called Formilaboss. They were selling some pictures. I bought my pictures. It was like $30 for the entire package, and overall it was pretty decent. But it was time for me to leave, because as I mentioned before, I also have the catamaran to do. Alright, so as I mentioned before, I'm also doing a catamaran. So this is us in the bus on our way to the catamaran. Now again, I booked this while I was in the airport, while talking to the guy. That's the birthday queen right there, and that's my sister and the other persons. They were staying at our hotel as well, right? Now we arrived at this beach, and we had to wait a little bit before we were supposed to go out on the catamaran. Now, mind you, this was also $50. As I mentioned before, I booked the excursions while I was in the airport when I arrived, because I was busy, so I never got the chance to plan ahead, right? And the $50 also included the transportation to and from the dock for this particular catamaran. But while we were there, we could wait. They had multiple souvenir shop where you could grab some souvenirs. There were some people selling their paintings. These paintings were pretty cool, similar to what we have here in Jamaica, except for the monkeys, because we don't have monkeys in Jamaica. Speaking of monkey, there was this guy on the beach with his monkey where you could pet, you could take a picture. Of course, the picture is gonna be there's gonna be a fee. You can always negotiate with these guys, but listen to me, the monkeys, they were super, super, super cute. And again, we're waiting to go on the boat, and while we're there, a guy was also doing henna. My friend, she definitely wanted to do it. It was $5. Mind you guys, it drained. It didn't dry, and she had to have her hand a particular way the entire time, which absolutely makes no sense because we're gonna go out on the boat. Anyways, so this is us waiting. Afterwards, they finally came and got us, and it's time for us to head on the boat. And as you can see, we have to take a small boat in order to get to the main boat, right? So if you're from Jamaica, it's kind of like taking one of those small fisherman's boat to go out to Pelican Bar, right? And once we arrived, then you just have to just hop over from the small boat into the bigger boat, and that was basically what we had to do. You get me? And they took off everybody one by one over onto the bigger boat, right? Alright, so let me tell you about the catamaran. No, I won't lie to you guys. No, I'm very honest and straightforward. I did not enjoy it, right? I give it like a 4 out of 10, right? Now, when we finally got on this boat, we had to wait like a whole hour before they started doing anything. You see here, he's talking to us. He wanted to know who spoke English, who spoke Spanish, and we had to wait an entire hour because they kept bringing persons from back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Which honestly, if you come on a catamaran or a party boat cruise in Jamaica, it won't be like that. Everybody would be assembled at one area at the same time, and then everybody goes on the boat at the same time, right? Alright, cool. I'm already a little bit annoyed because we're just sitting off an hour, not doing anything. No music was playing. They weren't serving any alcohol, nothing at all. Everybody was just sitting, looking in each other's face. But, after the hour had passed and he finally spoke and did all the talking and the introduction, they finally started playing some music, and, people started dancing and so on. Yeah, so them start playing the music and we started vibing and everything, but unfortunately that was very short lived, and this was us. This was our mood after, right? Because we still couldn't get any alcohol. They just kept stopping the music every minute. They said they couldn't serve any alcohol until they do the snorkeling. So now it was time to do the snorkeling. And mind you guys, I do tours in Jamaica. I offer stuff like this: catamaran, ATV, jet ski, all of those stuff. So I am quite used to being out on a boat and stuff like that. And I won't lie to you, this catamaran experience was probably by far the worst catamaran experience I've ever had in my entire life, right? But in a different country, I really wanted to see what it was like. They had the slide right there, and you could slide into the water. We did the snorkeling. We didn't see anything. I didn't even see a small fish. All I saw was sand. And so when you're in Jamaica and you do the snorkeling, they normally give bread, so that the fish could come near. But I don't think there were any fishes out here. There were a lot of other boats, that I will say. There were a lot of other boats that were out here. So, yeah. Anywho, after the snorkeling was done, we went back on the boat, right? They finally started serving alcohol. Only for me to realize that the alcohol that they started serving was pre-mixed. As in, like, they had it in a glue, and you get a cup, and that's it. I mean, people were drinking, and I actually never liked the taste of it. It was two different liquids, and I never liked it. Afterwards, the DJ kind of started playing like Jamaican music for me. Every night we are going on. 3 weekend coming on. Yeah, and to be honest, looking at the other boats, it was similar in terms of it was just so many boats, like so many boats. They brought us. They said that there was going to be a natural pool, and I was curious to see what it was, but we were still just out in the sea. They stopped at a different location. People went in. I wanted to know if they thought if it was kind of like a mineral. Maybe there was a spring close by. But this is the part right here was actually my favorite part, which was actually towards the end, where they started playing some carnival music. And yeah, I started engaging and so forth. I don't know, say I have my flag, so I have to represent. But all in all, I won't lie to you, I was ready to go. I was definitely ready to go before it was done. They stopped in the middle, and these guys came over. They had some parrots and they had some monkeys, so you could have taken a picture if you wanted to, and all of that stuff. Also, I forgot to mention that some persons on the boat, they got food. They got burgers, they got lobster. So I guess they bought something different, which would have been more money. So there's that option as well. I just want to put that out there. I don't think I would ever go back on any one of these catamarans out here in there. Even when they were playing the music, the genres were just kind of all over the place, and it just wasn't for me. So that basically sums up the catamaran experience for me while I was in Dominican Republic. Right? Moving on. Alright guys, so that was the catamaran. Next on the list we have Coco Bongo, right? Now Coco Bongo is in downtown Punta Cana. Now when you're doing your research for things to do in Dominican Republic, like it's one of those things that definitely comes up. This is the entryway to Coco Bongo. Of note, it was $168 per person, and we got the gold member. So with the gold member, you get seats, so you get a seated area, and it's also include alcohol, mixed drinks, so to speak. So that's what we got. Also, guys, I forgot to mention for the catamaran, even though we did that one, I ideally wanted to do the catamaran that goes to Sanoa Island. That's another popular one, but that would have been an all-day excursion. And, as you can see, I'm doing multiple things in a day. I believe I was there for 4 days. So, I didn't want to spend too many time off of the resort doing excursions. So, we just did that party cruise instead. As I mentioned before, it's not something I would do again. Anyways, we're being escorted to our seats. They brought us to our room, and we had to go all the upstairs because the gold members are seated upstairs. And this is the crowd. Listen to me. In there was packed. Right? In there was packed. Like, honestly, like these people, like, it's well popular. We already know that. But to be very honest, Coco Bongo, what I never realized, as I mentioned before, I never did my research, and I wish I did, was actually, it's not like a club. So, I went to Mexico, and when I went to Mexico, I thought I went to Coco Bongo, but I actually went to Club Mandala. But the two were beside each other, which is why I was a bit confused. But here, Coco Bongo is like a live entertainment show. It's kind of like hotel entertainment on steroids. They impersonate popular musicians. They also mimic popular scenes from popular movies, and that's basically what it is. They you get drinks, and it's very engaging, though. I will say that the way they do it is engaging, in that even this particular clip right here, towards the end, they will select people from out of the crowd. They will bring them on stage to participate in the dances that they're doing, or they will bring them up to this little section right here. So this young lady right here that's up here dancing is actually just somebody from the crowd. So they'll bring people from the crowd and put them in this little ring thing. You have to be careful because they have a little fan and they can blow up your dress. So that lady, they just blow up her dress. Hold on, let me show you. Right here. So guys, ensure you have on underwear or just wear pants, wear a jumpsuit. The other young miss, what she was in, they could do that. They also love to put the camera on different persons, the big spenders, and put the camera on the big spender them. And there was this thing that they did where they had a competition to see, like basically show that you're spending more money. I know, if you're all for the clout chasing and all of that, then this is for you. This is definitely for you. Me personally, like I said, I never knew this is what it was. I was so happy that we were gold members and we have the seat and I could sit down because I was tired from the day before. And, this wasn't necessarily my type of entertainment, but it's still something to experience. I've done it once. I wouldn't do it again. You get me? But like, if you're into it, then yes. A lot of people I know enjoyed it. Some people were drunk. Some people weren't drunk. Some people like the techno EDM music that they play, like the I'm not a fan of techno music or EDM music. But yeah, they did the impersonation with Kiss, where they did I wanna rock and roll all night. They did the Spider-Man impersonation. I did another one, So like I said, for me, I would describe it as hotel entertainment on steroids, and I'm gonna play some of them. You guys can see how it was. All right, and you can know if this is something that you would be interested in. The drinks for me, the mixed drinks that we got for me personally, I know I never liked any of them. I tried to order different stuff. I didn't like they were mixing them, and then the language barrier when I was just trying to order like a particular alcohol with a particular chaser. So, for me, I'd give this like a 6 out of 10. Again, guys, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification, check out some of my other vlogs. Remember that I am from Jamaica, and maybe because I am from the Caribbean, I live on a beautiful Caribbean island. Some of the excursions that I'm doing here, I do them often on my island. So I'm not really discouraging anyone from going. I'm just telling you my experience, and I'm giving you the reality of it. Again, if you're coming to Jamaica and you're looking for a tour guide, you want some transportation, then be sure to hit me up. Follow me over on Instagram, follow me on TikTok. Check out all of my other videos and my other vlogs that I have on different stuff in Jamaica, like things to do in Jamaica, hotels in Jamaica, all of that. Good food, good restaurants in Jamaica, all that you need to know. And of course, I will be leaving the link for my website in the description below. You guys can book different tours, and you guys can book transportation, and you can follow me on the other platforms as well. Right, so this basically sums up my first day of excursion / night in there. We did the dune buggies, the catamaran, and we went to Bongo. Next, I'm gonna talk about the skate park, which is something else that we did, and also dinner in the sky. So guys, just stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification, all of. Yeah, needless to say, I was exhausted from the day. I did the dune buggies, the catamaran, I went to Bongo. So we kind of left out early. This is actually a clip from outside of the club. So there were other clubs outside beside Bongo that were, playing music and so forth. There was even another place that was doing salsa, what looks like salsa. I'm not sure if it was salsa or merengue or bachata. And funny enough, I thought that's what I would have seen in DR. While I was in Jamaica, I was going to all of these different salsa classes, and yeah, all of this I want me to want to come there, but by the time I saw this, I was tired. So we actually got back on the early shuttle. We left on the 1 a.m. shuttle to go back to the resort, and even that shuttle ride was that was something else. But that's a story for another day, right? So thus far, I did the dune buggies, the party cruise, and Bongo. Now on to the next day. Today we are at the skate park, right? Now I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the skate park when you do your research. This is it. This is just a sign showing the different rules and so forth for the skate park. We paid $130 for the skate park. Again, I booked this when I was in the airport, and that $130 gave us access to everything with the exception of the ATV, right? Because there's also ATV there, but given the fact that I already did the dune buggies, I did not book an ATV excursion. So of course, when you enter, you have to walk through the gift shop first and foremost, right? So this is their gift shops. If you want to get some souvenirs, you can get some souvenirs. There's also an information desk. Now, at the information desk, what I was particularly interested in is the skate park map. This is the map right here. It's a very big property, and there's also a small sign. This is it that lets you know what is open at what time and what would be closed. So not everything is open at the same time. Now, there was a cenote. We decided to go there first because after speaking with the lady, she was saying that it might be best to do that first because in the afternoon it tends to get a little bit packed. Now guys, tips for coming here: please ensure that you can bring a water shoe or comfortable shoes to walk around the park in. Or if you have one of those water shoes that's like a sneaker, you can do that. It's a good distance to the cave or to the cenote. A good walk, a lot of stairs. And even when you're walking, you see different signs that says like 6 meters away, 4 meters, 2 meters, so on and so forth. So yeah, just make sure you have comfortable shoes, preferably either Crocs or water shoes. Now they have to wear a helmet, and listen, when I got there, I dived, I went straight in. I jumped right in because it was hot. Walking from point A to point B, it was hot. The water was beautiful. It was nice and cold and refreshing for me. This was 10 out of 10, but you guys know that I'm a water baby. I love anything that has to do with natural waters, rivers, waterfalls, cenotes, all of that, right? So it's just us chilling out in the water. As first I've ever been in at a waterfall or a park or anything of that sort, and they require that we wear a helmet. And obviously it's because we're in somewhat of a cave. So yeah, as a birthday princess, she wasn't about to get her hair wet, but she came down in the water and she was just telling me that the water is wet. The water is cold. What am I saying? That the water is very cold. But like I said, for me, it was just refreshing and it was just like the right temperature. Like this was by far one of the best experience that I had while I was in Dominican Republic. But of course, any water body for me will do. Anyways, following that, I decided, listen, we're gonna jump again. But there were some little babies that were there and they jumped in. Listen, these little children, they were super, super brave. That's them with their dad. So when they jump in, they jump to their dad. And that's the little brother right there. He came after. Listen, they were so cute and adorable. They didn't look more than, I don't think they were older than 3 years old. Like, honestly, they just dove right in, like, no hesitation. And again, this woman was somewhat hesitant, but again, I'm showing this for you guys to see that if you are hesitant, then you don't have to worry because the guides are there and they're there to encourage you. So it's for all age groups, so to speak. People who are adventurous, obviously for the little kids, and those who are a little bit afraid as well. You can still go and participate and enjoy yourself, tick something off of your bucket list and try something new. Eventually it was my time again because the queue to go and jump is not that long of a queue, but it's somewhat of a queue. But this time around, I decided to dive in because I'm practicing my diving skills. So I decided to dive in, and this was basically all that we did around this particular area of the park. And like I said, for me, this was one of the best parts of my trip to Dominican Republic, which is so ironic because this is something that I do almost every other day in Jamaica. Jump off into water, swing off into water, dive into water. But when you love something, you just love something. And I honestly just love being out in nature and being in the water. So we came back around. The park has a lot of different monkeys that are out and about, some snakes as well. They have some of the smaller monkeys, and they said there was going to be a monkey show or something like that. And I waited for that particular show. They said it was going to be at 2 p.m. But to be very honest, there wasn't any show. They just came out with the monkeys and you could take a picture with the monkey. But you can't take your own picture using your phone. You have to use the camera guys that are there. And then at the end, if you want to purchase the picture, you can purchase the picture. Regarding the picture, so what I didn't know on arrival is that different areas that you go, there's a photographer there that will take your picture, and then at the end, if you want a complete package of all the pictures that you've taken while you're there, then you can do that. I never found that out until the end after I've already been everywhere else, and I realized that the package deal would have been based upon if you took pictures with the photographer that they have there. And I never know that's how it was because you see, if you're there and you have your phone and you want to take a picture like in the caves or so, and you see one of the workers and you're just like, oh, can you take a group picture of me and my friends? They're going to look at you and tell you that they cannot take the picture. It's against their policy to take the pictures. Anywho, moving right along, we're going to the cave swim / the cultural route. I wanted to go into the zip lining, but it was drizzling a bit, so they had actually closed the zip lining, and also there was a long wait prior to that as well for persons who wanted to go into the zip lining. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna pass on the zip lining. What I did like about this area is that they had numerous replicas of old-time Taino settlements, which are the indigenous people, the Tainos. And in Jamaica, we have Tainos and as indigenous people as well. And they also had different cards showing the history. And that's something that I love because I'm big on reading about different history and just seeing the similarities with the Dominican Republic history as well as Jamaica's history. So they had this is what I'm talking about. Just outlining how the different persons eventually came to Hispaniola. For those who don't know, Haiti and Dominican Republic, the island itself, which is Haiti and Dominican Republic, is called Hispaniola, and then it got divided into Dominican Republic and Haiti. So while you're moving to the other part, which we're going to the cave swim, they had those different pictures and the different replicas of the different settlements that the Taínos had lived in. And I will say that their history is somewhat similar to Jamaican's history regarding indigenous people. Anyways, we're making our way down to the caves. Again, guys, a lot of stairs. Get some comfortable shoes. Bring water. Stay hydrated. Get some sunscreen. Nice bug spray. Just in general to have bug spray. But yeah, we're making ourselves down to the cave. And this is a cave. It was well lit. A decent amount of people were there. And, it was really nice. While we're there, we took some pictures. Also noticed a woman that was there with her baby. The baby looked like he was probably a month old. There we go. So adorable. So as you can see, this place is very kid-friendly. Yeah, but we never stayed too long. We took some pictures. And then we were, I just went back to the cultural route to check out the different replicas, read more about the history. I'm going to put some of the different pictures that I took. And then after that, I went for lunch. Yeah, so because I'm big on learning person's history, I'm going to just let some of these clips play showing how they did the replicas and so forth. Also, guys, remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification. I hope this vlog help you if you're planning your trip to DR. Of course, I never got to show you guys a different ATV area because I wasn't doing ATV, so I never went around there. And we actually left here a little early as well because we know we're going somewhere else later in the night. So for lunch, so on the website, I think it says that lunch is included once you buy and enter. However, that was changed. You could clearly see the areas where they used to have a buffet, but no, now you have to go and pay for your food. And I realized in DR that ribs was so common. It seemed as if the ribs was as common as chicken, because it was there almost on every menu, and I definitely enjoyed it each time. So yay for the ribs. I was talking about the different photo packages that they have. That's the picture right there with the different photo packages. The first area that we went to will have the photo packages, so you guys can see the prices and just see if something that you would be interested in. Also, while I was in this lobby area waiting around for the bus, I noticed that they had this little fridge with the drinks inside. It took me a warm time to open the fridge, but I just wanted you guys to see that they had locks on the beer. I've never seen this anywhere. Like, they literally have a lock on each one of the beer, which is wild to me. Even on the water and the Gatorade, all of that, there was a lock on it, which, wow, I've never seen that. Anywho, on to the next. Okay, so after finishing skate park, we came back to the hotel, rested a little bit, and then I got all dressed up. The theme we were going with tonight was orange. It's been a good minute since I got all dolled up and, heels, makeup, dress, all of the above. So we are heading to downtown Punta Cana, and we are going to dinner in the sky, right? So this is one of those things that a lot of people tend to come down in Punta Cana and do. This is the setup right here. That's how it is when you're on the floor. The cost for this was $200, I believe, and I think an additional $20 for transportation, road trip transportation. I think it was $220 in total, right? So this is a setup. As I said before, we came in, they checked the reservation. There's multiple little setups where you can take pictures. We did just that. As you can see, they're strapping us in. You're done when, or you have to get strapped in properly. People, it's basically, that roller coaster ride that they have. That's just like a one drop. It's kind of like that, except obviously there's no dropping. But this is us, right? That's my sister right there, and then that's a birthday girl right there. And at this point, we were fully strapped in, and we were just getting ready for them to basically ascend, right? So that's how we're literally at this point in time, we're actually going up at this point in time. after a while, I just decided to look down and realize that wow, we are really way up. Listen, if you have anxiety, I don't know if this is for you. If you are afraid of heights, clearly this is not necessarily for you. They let you sign a waiver that states that, listen, if when they're up in the air and you need to use the bathroom or any little thing that happened, if they have to bring it back down, when they bring it back down, they're not waiting for you. So they're not going to wait for you to finish using the bathroom, or they're going to wait for you to calm down from your anxiety attack or your panic attack if you do have one. They're going to continue up, right? So this is what was underneath the thing. This was the appetizer. It was prepared for us. Not like him, I'm never really sure what it was, but you know, I don't spend the money, so I'm going to eat it. In terms of the choice of drinks, you could have red wine or white wine, and I believe the other drinks were there at an additional cost. This soup, appetizer, top tier. I don't even know what type of soup it was. So it might look like some cream of something soup, but this soup, yeah, 10 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. Prior to going, right, when you're doing the booking, they ask you what it is that you'd like. So the basic 200 can cover fish, steak, and chicken, I believe. But if you want lobster or lamb, I believe those were at an additional cost. I wanted steak, so I did steak. Also, guys, there were a whole performance while we're up there in the sky. Rocking the boat is an understatement.
Cash money taking over.
So Coco was dancing. Trust me, she was dancing. They all were dancing, especially the light skinned bartender and her. They're you can see that they're the dancer for the group. Also, guys, remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification. If you've gone already, let me know what your experience was like. Let me know if it's a place that's on your list. Also, this dinner in the sky thing, I know that they're planning to bring it to Jamaica as well down in Negril, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, this is the steak. To be fair, I don't even know what. I think what's underneath it was mashed sweet potato with some beans or so in it. And to be very honest, this meal wasn't all that, you know, it for me, when I go to restaurants, whatever I'm being fed shouldn't be something that it looked like I could prepare at home. And I'm no great chef. I'm no top-notch cook. And outside of the soup, you know, and the dessert, I mean, even the dessert was somewhat a bit basic for me, but again, we're really going for the experience to be in the sky. If this was food that was being served at a restaurant that wasn't in the sky, it wouldn't be popular. And that's just facts. I'm just giving it to you as is. But again, the experience was really, 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 really nice. It's one of those things you do it one time, you probably never do it again. This is the dessert. And yeah, this was actually good as well. The dessert was pretty good. So for me, the appetizer and the dessert is what was you know, really hitting it for me. I didn't even finish my main course. I didn't think I packed to go back, so I don't recall. I don't think I did. Also, guys, of note, wear shoes that you can strap onto your foot in case you're somebody that likes to dangle your foot the way it doesn't fall off your feet. Yeah, just those the stuff to think about. But all in all, I'll give this particular experience like a 7 out of 10. Wasn't too bad. Again, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification. The steak that I had at the hotel, at the meat restaurant hotel, was way better than this steak. Again, guys, be sure to check out that vlog. The link will be in the description below. I did a review on that hotel, right? And after that, they did the little dancing. Everybody did their own little piece of dancing, and that was pretty much it. They brought us back down. The shuttle was outside waiting for us, and I went back to the hotel. So all in all, it was still a good experience. You get me? It really was a good. So I would still definitely tell persons to try this at least once. guys, that basically concludes my mini vacation down to Dominican Republic. As I mentioned before, there's a hotel vlog, so I spent a day at the hotel and did some activities on the hotel, so you can check that out. This is me leaving the hotel. The friend that I told you I met, which was just too late in the trip, Kevin. He speaks very good English, types good English as well in terms of text, and he does tours as well. I met him on the beach. He's the one I've been talking to, and I was telling him that I wanted to try the local cuisine. I'm just like, can we go somewhere to try, authentic local food? In Jamaica, if you come to Jamaica, you want a good food, a nice like rice and peas and them something. You come off at the resort and you get a little box food. So for me, I wanted to know where it is that the locals would go for lunch. I wanted to go there for lunch. So he brought me to this plaza that had multiple different shops. I guess some of them were selling like hot dogs, or they had some seafood, and so forth. So we were looking around. Mind you, I'm leaving the resort, which means I'm actually should be heading to the airport. So we didn't have a lot of time. But I hope you guys saw the name of this particular spot. I'm showing you guys the menu, so you could probably check it out. And even though we were here, this wasn't actually the place that I ended up getting food, right? But they do have a wide variety. They have a place that serve, there's a pig and company, so there's pork. There's a seafood place, a local food, and a frozen yogurt place as well. When I got there, some of the food in terms of what I was interested in wasn't available, so we never stayed. We went somewhere else, right? So this is the other spot that we ended up going to. I can't even remember the name. I'm actually gonna search for it and put it in the comments, right? People, if I understand the Spanish, should have beat me bad, but it's right across from the Grand Palladium Hotel, right? So it's right across from the Grand Palladium Hotel and Resort. It seemed to be a very popular spot. In there was pretty packed. Right at the front, they had the dessert, some banana bread, some donuts, and they had empanadas. So, of course, I wanted to try an empanada again, as well as to see if their banana bread was similar to our banana bread that we made. But, banana bread is banana bread, but, still want to try. So, I asked for was rice and peas, and I asked them if I could get the rice and peas. These are some of the different chips, different plantain chips, cassava chips. They had the different juices and stuff. And this is the menu. A wide variety for the menu. They had a menu that was in English, and they had that one that was in Spanish. So I really appreciated that altogether. And you can go through the menu to see if it's something that you would be interested in, or just pause it, so to speak, right? Again, guys, if you're doing the planning for yourself, I'm really hoping this vlog is helping you out. As you can see, I'm wrapping up. And again, be sure to hit up Kevin. Let him know you saw or you heard of him from Amanda's vlog. Right, very nice guy. Speaks English very well. Texts in English very well. Knows the area very well. Can book some of the resorts for you and so forth. So reach out to him. Anyway, like I said, I ordered rice and peas, and I ordered it with pork. Come and say, I wanted to try their pork. Get a little box drinks, And this is the empanada. I'm hungry, so I'm going to try the empanada. Because I see it. I know I tried it before, but I still don't want to try it again. Still, it's not like patties. It's different. The beef that they have in the empanada is almost like minced beef. So it's just different from our patty. So the rice and peas, I ordered rice and peas, and they gave me this container that having the peas, the container having the peas in some sauce, white rice, and then the other thing had in the pork. So not what I expected, but that's what I got. Anyways, never have no time to stop and eat, so I had to make our way to the airport. Didn't want to be late. My sister and my friend, they left the day before, and my sister, when she went to the airport, it was very, very packed. And I was just like, boy, I can't believe the airport is so packed. So I never want to have any issues, because I definitely had to make it back home. So this is us going back to the airport. Like I mentioned, Kevin dropped me off. We got some food, and he dropped me to the airport. So it was really nice of him, and he didn't really have to do any of that. So this is the airport. Nah, it's in the people. Nah. And airport stay nice with like them just done do some refurbishing at the airport. And listen to me, to get to my gate it was so very far. I was doing some window shopping as well while I was there. You guys know you have the little store where you can buy the perfume and all of them, look at something there. And I won't lie to you, I saw a lady there and I asked her for the price for another perfume, and I said, you know what, I'm not gonna buy it because I have another flight from Miami to Jamaica. So I did just put it back down. But I was still looking around, and when I look back at me, the woman that trailed me. I said, but I said, excuse me, miss, can I help you? But again, the communication barrier. So you know what I did? I just got my stuff and I went to my gate and I sat and I wait until it was time for me to leave, because I'm in another drama. You never come a dear for no drama, because I want to know why this woman was trailing me. But now I say nothing. So I make it slide and go about my business. But anyways, guys, that was my entire experience while I was in DR. Beautiful country. Again, if I do go back, I would go back to Santo Domingo, and I would go back with someone that speaks the language very well and is local to the area, so I can have more of a natural experience. I don't think I would ever go back to Punta Cana. I don't think I would go back to Punta Cana. And and their bathroom, very very fancy, very 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 fancy bathroom. Went inside to wash my hands. We used the bathroom. I washed my hand, and I was just like, hold on, what's happening? That such a challenge figuring out the pipe. But anyways, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on post notification if you've made it this far. I thank you so very much. I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Again, if you're coming to Jamaica, be sure to hit me up at the tours, transportation, bookings. I don't book hotel, I book excursions, just to verify that. You can check out my reviews that I have on TripAdvisor, where persons have reviewed my company, so you guys can know what it is you're getting yourself into. Until next time, guys, I thank you.